In today's video, I want to talk about the version 6.1 banner lineup because honestly, it looks pretty unusual. We've got one new character, a couple of high-profile reruns from Fontaine, and unexpectedly 2 Archons thrown into the mix, which is shaking up the variety we're used to seeing. At first glance, it might seem like a straightforward power-packed update, but the more you dig into it, the more it feels like there's something strategic happening behind the scenes. So, let's break it all down. Who's coming? Why this structure is raising eyebrows, and what it might be setting up for version 6.2 and beyond. Save up to 30% on current banners at LDShop. Plus, with my coupon, you'll get an extra 5% discount, which is a huge 35% off in total. Like this one, you can get 6,480 Genesis Crystals pack for just $68, which normally costs $100 in the game. And if this is your first purchase, you get double the amount of Genesis Crystals. The process is super fast. Pick your product, choose your server, enter your UID, and that's it. Your purchase arrives in under 5 minutes, and LDShop ensures secure payments every time. Plus, if you spend over $80, you'll get a free welkin moon. Interesting, right? So use my link in the description or pinned comment to get 35% off and save big on every top-up. First, let's go over the banner structure. According to multiple trusted sources, including HomDGCat, who's been batting nearly 1,000 on lineup predictions since Fontaine, and cross-verified by leakers like White and Uncle21, version 6.1 is gearing up to be a banner beast. It will feature 1 new 5-star character, 3 major reruns, and a brand new 4-star. The new 5-star is Nefer, a Dendro unit who wields a catalyst. She's just been revealed through leaks and is set to debut in version 6.1 as a fresh Dendro Catalyst user. From her design, she has a mystical, ethereal look, with flowing robes adorned in lunar motifs, and what appears to be crystalline accessories that glow with Dendro energy. Her aesthetic leans heavily into a Nodcry-inspired vibe, blending ancient runes with celestial elements, which has players buzzing about how she ties into the new region's lore and mechanics. In terms of gameplay, Nefer is positioned as an on-field DPS focused on the Lunar Bloom reaction, a new mechanic introduced in the Nodcry era that enhances Dendro reactions with unique stacks and buffs. Her kit revolves around generating verdant dew through Lunar Bloom triggers, which she consumes to empower her charged attacks, dealing massive AoE Dendro damage that scales with elemental mastery, crit rate, and crit damage. She also provides team-wide bonuses, like reducing enemy Dendro resistance by up to 25% with her burst, making her a strong pick for Hyper Bloom or Bloom-based teams. And here's where it gets intriguing. Based on early leaks, Nefer seems designed to synergize with upcoming Nodcry units, potentially setting up for more complex reaction chains in future patches. She's not just a standalone DPS, she feels like a foundational piece for the evolving meta in this new chapter, bridging current Dendro strategies with whatever Nodcry has in store. The 3 reruns are Arlecchino, Furina, and Zhongli. And yeah, if that lineup feels a bit overloaded to you, you're not alone. That's exactly what caught my attention too, because it's not every day Hoyoverse drops 2 Archons in the same version alongside a new character and another heavy hitter like Arlecchino. Normally, we see a balanced mix, maybe 1 Archon for nostalgia and sustain, a recent favorite from the previous region, and perhaps an older unit to fill gaps. But here, we've got Arlecchino from version 4.6, Furina from 4.2, and Zhongli, who's been around since the early days but hasn't rerun as frequently lately. All of them are powerhouse units, but clustering 2 Archons like this is rare and unexpected. Now, there actually is a pretty logical reason for this, even though it still feels off balance. You've probably noticed the pattern where Hoyoverse likes to bring back Archons periodically to keep them relevant, especially when new mechanics or regions could benefit from their universal utility. In this case, version 6.1 is early in the Nodcry arc, and leaks suggest the region's focus on hybrid reactions and exploration challenges might demand strong shielding, hydro application, and damage amplification, exactly what Zhongli, Furina, and Arlecchino provide. Zhongli's unbreakable shields offer sustain in tough new domains, Furina's off-field hydro and team buffs pair perfectly with Nefer's Lunar Bloom setups, and Arlecchino's raw pyro DPS adds firepower for players experimenting with mixed teams. Plus, with Nodcry introducing enemies that punish aggressive playstyles, these reruns could be Hoyoverse's way of giving players accessible tools to adapt without waiting for more new units. But here's where it gets even more interesting. If you've been following leaks closely, you might recall how Archon reruns have sometimes been spaced out to avoid banner fatigue. Zhongli last appeared in version 5.2, and Furina in 5.4, so jamming them together now breaks that rhythm. It reminds me of past surprises, like when Raiden Shogun and Nahida shared a version back in 4.3, but that was tied to a story event. Here, it could be Hoyoverse responding to community feedback about rerun droughts for staple supports, especially after some characters like Ruthsley got skipped entirely in Fontaine's cycle. By front-loading these two Archons, they're ensuring no one misses out on meta-defining units as Nodcry ramps up its difficulty. It might also be a revenue play. Archons always pull big numbers, and pairing them with Nefer could tempt savers to spend before tougher banners hit in 6.2. But here's the catch everyone's buzzing about. Nefer thrives in reaction-heavy comps but feels gated without specific supports. Leaks show she pairs insanely with Lauma from 6.0 for bloom conversions, and Furina's Hydro turns her into a vaporized monster. Without them, rotations can fizzle, dropping DPS by 25-35% per cycle according to early spreadsheets. The community is already divided. Some call her the next Alhaitham for on-field dendro dominance. Others worry she's another pull-dependent unit like Flynn's, where you need the full Nodcry suite to shine. Forums are flooded with mock teams like Nefer Furina Zhongli Jahoda for sustain blooms, or Arlecchino Nefer swaps for pyro-dendro overloads. It's exciting, but there's hesitation. F2P viability seems solid at C0, but her EM scaling means artifact farming will be brutal for the lunar sets. Speaking of Jahoda, the new 4-star Anemo Catalyst support rounding out Nefer's banner, she's shaping up as a sleeper hit with more universal appeal. Leaks describe her as a swirl enabler with a kit focused on grouping enemies and amplifying reactions. Her skill creates an Anemo vortex that pulls in foes and swirls nearby elements, boosting team EM by 20% during her burst's Moonlit Vigil field. She's got off-field application via infused autos and a passive that reduces swirl cooldowns, making her a budget Kazuha for lunar teams. Community reactions are mostly positive so far. Unlike Ino's mixed bag in 6.0, Jahoda's not locked behind weird triggers. She applies Anemo reliably and buffs without needing constellations for basics. Rate-up buddies could include Lan Yan for more Anemo synergy or Rosaria for crit shreds, giving her banner solid value. Still, some purists are meh, saying she's just another swirl bot in a roster bloated with them, but for bloom or charged reaction squads, she looks meta-essential. So yeah, version 6.1 might look overloaded at first glance, but once you step back and look at the bigger picture, it feels more like a calculated push to solidify the Nodcry meta. Everything from the unexpected Archon pairing to the synergy with new reactions hints that Hoyoverse is gearing up for bigger shifts ahead, whether that's banner expansions or tougher content in 6.2. We'll find out soon enough. Let me know what you think. Does this banner structure feel exciting or overwhelming to you? Are you planning to pull for Nefer or going all in on the Archons? Till then, stay safe, stay healthy, and don't forget to drink water. I will see you in the next video.